Hi, I'm Jason Edwards and I'm a clinical hypnotherapist and transformational coach. Today I want to let you know about something that I have recently discovered that has rapidly changed my life and has become the most powerful and requested therapy from all of my clients, and has become one of the things that is allowing them to make great changes to who they are and what they're really wanting to achieve. I discovered it after I attended several seminars on growth and development, and I noticed that they all appeared to have a common thread running through them on what prevents us from healing our past and then going on to make permanent positive changes and moving forwards in any area of our lives. Now, I'm not just talking about stopping smoking and losing weight, or even letting go of those things that cause us stress and anxiety. This is about every area of our life and includes making money, having successful relationships, getting that job we desire, and really succeeding in what we're meant to be doing within our lives. Now, what I've learned, I've developed into 2 new therapies. Because you see, I've discovered the main problem that we all have, you, me, and everyone, is that we don't actually know what is holding us back and stopping us from making lasting changes. You see, we are consciously unaware of what is unconsciously stopping us in our lives. We don't know what we don't know. Let me ask you this for an example. Have you ever really wanted something in your life, but no matter how hard you try, you've never been able to achieve it? Never made money, had good relationships, achieved your career goals, lost weight, even after you've attempted to change several things, time and time again, you never got the results you wanted. And yet you had no idea why the success you desired never happened for you. Maybe you've asked yourself time and time again why things didn't work out the way you wanted to, but you just don't know why. Well, if this is you, if this is the case for you, today I'm going to tell you why it's never worked out. You, like everyone else on the planet, has unconscious blocks within your own thinking that stop you from doing and achieving certain things. These unconscious blocks, they start off really small, and we kind of pick them up when we're young. But as we grow older, they grow with us, and they become bigger, and by the time we're adults, they've grown into what have become full-size unconscious limiting self-beliefs, and they can affect every area of your life. And the thing is, you don't even know it, or you know that you've got them. I guarantee you, if there is any area in your life you are failing to achieve in, this is the reason why. As at this current moment, you don't hold a full and firm belief that you can really succeed in any area of life that you want to. Now, I'll give you an example of how one of these unconscious blocks grows into a full-scale limiting self-belief. And this example is from an actual life experience of someone who worked through my unblocking unconscious beliefs therapy. They came to me as they had a problem with talking and connecting with other people, but they did not know why. Now, when they worked through the therapy with me, they discovered that it went right back to their childhood. Now, as a young child, one day they went to their parents and they went to show them something that they had made. They put time and effort into it and they were proud of their work. But as they were young, they needed confirmation and validation from an older authority figure that they were doing the right thing. Now, when they took their artwork to their parents, their parent was really busy looking after their younger brother. And the parent told them they could not look at it right now and sent them away. Now, as a young child, they could not rationalise that their parent was just busy. Maybe their parent had other things going on, and the young child could not rationalise that either. So instead they then felt bad, disappointed, and they internalised and interpreted this experience as they were bad at art. So what happens next is the unconscious thought, which has been implanted in there, starts to grow. And here is the real problem. Our minds, especially when we're young, will often look to validate our own beliefs by adding new information to them. It won't dispel them, as the young brain wants to be proved correct, as the ego is very fragile at that age. So as you grow older, you then start to find other bits of information to add to your beliefs. And we do this all the time. We're always adding to our current beliefs because it's so much easier than growing and accepting change. So as my client grew with the belief, they then recalled another time their friends had teased them, just playfully, about a piece of artwork they did. They then recalled in a history lesson that they learned that a famous artist was internationally recognised from a young age, younger than themselves. So it added to the thoughts about their own art, and all of these bits of knowledge then formed into a limiting belief in their head that they were no good at art or there was no point in bothering. So what happened next was they eventually became closed off to anything artistic and creative, and in this instance, as they grew older, the belief manifested itself into them starting to shy away from expressing themselves in communication. Now, when they worked this through with me, they could see the real problem, which was growing up with a limiting belief around art and creativity that manifested into not being able to express their words and intentions and communicate their true feelings. And they couldn't do this to others, and it started to affect all of their relationships, both at home and at work. This belief could then even have then had them send out unconscious signals to other people that they lacked confidence, so they started to lose further opportunities. So you can see how we can pick up these unconscious blocks from a really young age, and they grow, and then they manifest themselves into something very different. Because as I said, as we grow older, we try and find bits of evidence and information that agree with the thoughts of others that we were given as young children. Now, the incredible thing is, my client would never have made that connection from a present-day lack of confidence in communication back to this early belief around art. And the amazing thing is, the minute they became unblocked after a hypnosis session, they immediately felt able to express themselves. So, why does this happen to everyone? Well, here is the thing. You and everyone else's subconscious brain takes on information as facts. The subconscious mind does not question, examine, appraise, or investigate new evidence when it is given to it. It cannot tell the difference between real and imagined. It just reads any new data like a fact. It's almost as if your subconscious was a blackboard and anyone could just write on it whatever they like. Now, when you're young, we won't question authority figures. Parents, teachers, older siblings, so we believe what they tell us is completely true. We believe anything that we're told. Just think, as a young child, what beliefs you were given around Christmas time, Easter, or when a tooth fell out. And you would have died defending those beliefs as a young child that other people gave you. The beliefs seemed so real and solid, and there was even hard evidence to back them up and something positive to believing in it. Now, you might hold some very different beliefs and thoughts around Christmas, Easter and losing a tooth. You see, other people can just distort your world and give you beliefs, and some of these will grow into unconscious blocks that as you become older turn into limiting self-beliefs. Now, as they're written on your blackboard in your subconscious mind, they will act just like life rules, and you'll live within these rules, never ever breaking free of them. And what will happen is they can then lead to self-sabotage. You can sabotage your own attempts at making positive changes as you're fighting with the limiting self-belief, and they can also grow into really harmful and really damaging beliefs around yourself that can lead to feelings that you're unworthy, or that you don't deserve to have what you want, or even make you believe that for you, change and healing is totally impossible. This is why so many of us start to make really great progress, then just give up. Because these unconscious limiting beliefs hold us back time and time again. However, here's the good news. You can change them. You can root out, get rid of, and heal these unconscious blocks. As it is possible if you use a very specific type of therapeutic questioning and hypnosis, you can actually discover what these limiting beliefs are and then go to unblock them and actually allow yourself to start moving forwards in life. Now, ever since I started to work with people in this way, I've seen real positive changes. So many people start to make changes in all areas of their lives. And this happens when they started to discover themselves the real reason as to what had been holding them back from moving forwards. And this was just with any area of their life that they wish to move forwards in. Let me give you an example of this right now so you can have an idea of how it works and how it feels. If you think right now of an area of your life you'd like to improve, maybe it's relationships, money, health, work, love, or anything, career, think how much you really may want to increase the money that you make, or think how much weight you want to lose, or think of your ideal partner, or think of that ideal job. Now, give this area a figure from 0 to 10 where you think you are with improving it in your life. With 0 being poor and 10 being fantastic. It's probably important that you choose an area where you really need to improve and you have a much lower number. Now, ask yourself, what prevents you from improving this area and making this change? What belief do you hold around it? For example, some people think they are overweight because it runs in the family, and that's what they've been taught. And they'll say, well, my parents were both overweight, so I'm overweight. Other people will come to me and say, I can't make huge amounts of money because I'm not a ruthless person. And they'll hold the belief that only people who are really cutthroat can make loads and loads of money. Now, I was once told many, many years ago I could not become a successful public speaker as I did not hold a certain qualification. And I believed it at the time. And now I realise that the person who told me that was talking absolute nonsense, but at the time it stopped me dead in my tracks. And they told me it for a reason known only to themselves, but I chose to believe it. So, straight away, we can notice just what the outward limiting self-belief is. Now, the second thing to ask yourself, and this might not come to you straight away, who gave you this belief? Because it's always good to remember you were not born with it. When I was younger, I was very overweight. As my mom used to tell me and reinforce in me all the time, I was a big eater. And I believed her. And my young, impressionable brain acted upon this belief, and I did not want to know how to challenge it or know how to challenge it. So my behaviour fell in line with this belief and I just overate, and hence I was too heavy. Now, as I said, if you're doing this, you might not always get the answers straight away. And I've developed a very specific set of therapeutic questions that help people locate, challenge, and unconsciously start to unblock and let go of these unconscious blocks. Let me give you an example of the questioning. If someone was stuck and could not move forwards, I might ask them, what kind of person would they be without this belief? Ask yourself that now and see what answers come back to you. Or, what would you do differently if you did not have the belief anymore? Now keep noticing the answers that come back. You may come up with a lot of I don't knows, because initially you have never ever challenged these beliefs in this way before. Actually, when we get to a don't know, it's really good, as we're starting to get further to the real cause of the limiting belief itself. Because when we start to question these beliefs, we then get to the sub-beliefs and we start moving closer and closer to the root cause. And when we do that, we can then move on to the next stage, which is change. Now, change can often be a difficult thing for some people, as really accepting that you're letting go of and unblocking this belief will change your life. It will change it beyond all recognition. And remember that this unconscious block has formed part of your character and identity. So you are going to let go of part of your identity. And this is a big part of change and the road to achievement and success. And letting go of identity goes against what many people will probably very kindly tell you, such as you don't need to change, or you're fine as you are, and I love you the way you are. But remember, this current you has not yet fulfilled what they want to, and will have to let go of elements of themselves to really achieve change. So you're going to form a brand new identity based around letting go of some really old, negative, limiting beliefs and taking on board some new, empowering, loving ones. Now at this stage, people have already started to see themselves differently. We started to take the limiting self-belief from an unconscious to a conscious level. We started to look at it and examine it. And what we then realise is there are 6 key areas around accepting the changes of limiting beliefs. Now these 6 areas will attach themselves to your limiting self-belief by the subconscious. And the reason for this is the subconscious mind believes that the limiting self-belief serves a positive purpose for them. And so we have to sever the belief from these areas to accept the change is a good thing. For example, you might be holding on to a belief as you may not feel it is safe to let go of it yet. Or you may not feel that you don't deserve to have what you really want. So your subconscious will hold on to the belief with a positive intent. It will do it to look after you. Now again, I always use a set of questioning to help the subconscious mind start to let go of these key 6 areas. For example, asking someone various questions around their levels of self-worth, if they do not feel they're good enough to have what they want, and to find out why they are holding on to this now conscious belief due to unworthiness. When we start to dig down and to find out what the belief is, and find out to who gave it to us, finally it is time to go back and heal and unblock that subconscious belief that is holding you back. And the only way you can truly do this is by going into a hypnotic trance and revisiting those earlier times to find that first moment when it started. And then start making those changes to your own subconscious through healing. Now, the reason why we need hypnosis is that these unconscious blocks live in your subconscious. And it is only when you go into a hypnotic trance that you can actually access them. And those people who come up with lots of I don't knows when I'm working with them, then go and find the answers in hypnosis. This is why I said it's great when we get to the I don't knows, as we can always find and unlock them with hypnosis. As well as finding the answers, we can also use this time in hypnosis to heal. Healing this area, breaking away from the old beliefs and giving ourselves some really loving, empowering new ones about ourselves. We can really start to reshape who we are and what we are absolutely capable of. Now, I've been so lucky within my work. After using this therapy, I've witnessed incredible changes within people. I've watched clients transform and let go of old beliefs around OCD, different personality disorders, and all manner of anxieties and phobias. It's helped people to overcome addictions and compulsions and face those things that have been blocking them from losing weight, stopping smoking, and moving on in every area. But not only that, I have seen how people who have come to me for unconscious belief blocking and rapid transformational hypnotherapy go on to really start achieving their personal goals and dreams. People have contacted me to tell me that after they visited me, they've changed jobs, have made more money, have gotten out of really bad relationships they've been in for years and found loving, positive new ones, all due to letting go of those limiting self-beliefs after finding out what the unconscious unknown blocks were. This is the life you deserve. So if you're interested in finding out more about how you can move on from emotional issues, achieve that great same level of success in any area of your life as any of my other clients have done, please visit my website for more information. You can find out what has been unconsciously holding you back your whole life and stopping you from achieving your goals.